photosynthesis and cellular respiration. So photosynthesis has two phases. Phase 1 starts in the thylakoid, this oval thing. So we have light, which bops into this thing called photosystem 2. This makes a water molecule break into three: electrons, protons, and oxygen, because you can't really have photosynthesis without those. The electron then moves through the thylakoid membrane until it gets to photosystem 1. The moving of this electron tells these protons out here to come on in, which they do. Oh look, some light just came by again, which made the electron move right out. There the electron and this thing called NADP plus makes NADPH. So let's go back and see what the protons are doing. Oh. It looks like they're way too crowded. So they're gonna go through this ATP synthase, and the moving of these protons going through this makes our ATP into ADP, and that's the end of phase 1. And we move on to phase 2. Phase 2 happens in the stroma. This plays inside a plant cell. So the Krebs cycle is what happens in phase 2. It's a cycle that adds different compounds together, which I do not know how to say at all. It uses energy to make more compounds, and somewhere in there we get ATP, which some is made into glucose, and that is photosynthesis. Now let's go look at cellular respiration. Cellular respiration has 3 steps. The first one is glycosis, which takes place in the cytoplasm, this empty nothingness. Well, glycosis uses the glucose made from photosynthesis and makes it into pyruvate using ATP. Basically, glycosis is using energy to make more energy, because ATP is energy, and they're using that energy to make more ATP. And after all of that, we end up with the net result of 2 ATP. Cool. The second step is the Krebs cycle. This takes place inside the mitochondria. So the pyruvate from the 4 is broken down by this cycle and makes CO2, ATP, NADPH, and FADH2. This cycle is done one more time, so we end up with 6 CO2, 2 ATP, 8 NADPH, and 2 FADH2. The third step is the electron transport chain, which takes place in the mitomembrane, this little line in the mitochondria. I really did not know you could stick stuff in the small line. The NADPH and the FADH2 puts out electrons, which goes through the membrane. This causes protons inside the mitochondria to move out. Oh no, it's getting way too crowded again. So let's go through the ATP synthase and make more ATP. Yeah, you know that electron? Yeah, that one. It makes water by being friends with the oxygen and protons. And at the end, we get a net result of 32 ATP, which is a lot. Wow. And that was photosynthesis and cellular respiration. This was literally way too hard to make. I sped around it in like a day. Well, thanks for watching, I guess. That was so bad.